Okay, so if you're an educator, you know this feeling, right? You've got your rules, your systems, your whole consequence chart. But despite all that work, the behavior issues just keep popping up. So what gives? What if the answer isn't a new rule, but something else entirely?
Of course, your classroom has rules. I bet they're posted on the wall, probably in a really nice font. You went over them in September. You probably re explained them after winter break. They're clear, everyone knows them.
And yet, the calling out just keeps happening. Those side conversations don't seem to stop. And the frustration, it just builds and builds. It's a feeling I'm sure you know all too well. So that's the real question, isn't it? If the rules are all set up, why isn't the behavior falling in line? What are we missing here? Well, it turns out we might be focusing on the wrong tool for the job.
Now, here's an idea that might sound a little bit radical at first. Rules are absolutely essential for setting expectations, but they don't, on their own, actually have the power to regulate what a student does from moment to moment.
This is the game changer. This is the foundation that makes all your other classroom management strategies actually click into place. It's not about having the perfect set of rules, it's about having a real strong connection with the kids you're teaching. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. That word relationship, it can sound kind of vague, maybe a little, I don't know, soft. So let's get crystal clear about what we mean and, just as importantly, what we don't mean. So let's get one thing straight. This is not about being their friend. It's not about lowering your expectations or just letting behavior slide. Absolutely not. It's actually the opposite. This is about building a classroom on trust and safety, where you can hold super high expectations, precisely because the students know you're in their corner. It's all about consistency, but paired with empathy. And here's the real payoff. When that trust is there, and you have to redirect a student, they don't hear, oh man, I'm in trouble, or my teacher is mad at me. They actually hear guidance. They see it as fair, because they trust your motives. And that one little shift, it changes absolutely everything. Okay, so this isn't just some nice, fluffy idea. It's actually backed by decades of research. So let's take a quick look at the proof behind why this whole relationship approach is so darn effective. You know, if you take just one thing away from all the research, let it be this. It's so simple, so direct, and it is profoundly true. Student behavior is deeply, deeply relational. It really all boils down to whether they believe the adult in the room genuinely cares about them as a human being. And that feeling of connection, it shows up in very real, very tangible ways. Students who feel that bond are way more willing to follow your expectations. They'll accept being redirected without it turning into a big power struggle. They try harder when the work gets tough, and they bounce back a lot quicker after making a mistake. I mean, these are the exact behaviors we're all hoping to see. And hey, this isn't some new fad. Major thinkers in education, people like Robert Pianta and Nell Noddings, they've been proving for years that care and connection aren't just soft skills or some kind of classroom add-on. Nope, they are the absolute foundation of a classroom that actually works. Here's another way to think about it. It's the difference between being reactive and being preventative. Rules, when they're all by themselves, are a reactive tool, right? They mostly tell students what not to do, usually after something's already gone wrong. But relationships? They're a preventative tool. They shape how a student even hears your words in the first place, which can stop defiance before it even gets a chance to start. Okay, so the big question is, how do we actually do this? It sounds great in theory, but what does it look like on a busy Tuesday morning when you have a million things to do? Well, the good news is it doesn't take some grand gesture. It's all about the small, consistent things you do every day. Check these out. These 5 little actions, when you do them over and over, have a huge impact. Just learning a name and saying it right sends a huge message. I see you. A simple hello at the door sets the tone for the whole period. I'm genuinely glad you're here. And when you do have to correct a student, framing it as a choice, like that choice wasn't helpful, separates the action from who they are as a person. It's all about showing them the relationship is way more important than winning some power struggle. These are the things that build trust. All right, let's wrap this all up by focusing on the single most powerful tool you have at your disposal. And spoiler alert, it is not a new behavior chart and it's not a new set of rules. It's actually a shift in your own thinking. We're so often trained to think just like this. Our brain immediately jumps to enforcement, to compliance, to consequences. It's a very rule-first way of looking at a problem.
But what if, instead, we asked this? This question completely reframes the entire situation. It shifts our focus from control over to connection. And the answer might be something simple, like a quick check-in, a quiet nonverbal signal, or just giving that student a moment to reset. It's a proactive, empathetic approach that gets to the root cause, not just the symptom.
So let's be super clear. We are not throwing out the rule book. Rules matter. High expectations absolutely matter. Consistency is critical. But you have to remember that relationships are the foundation. They are the engine that makes all those other essential pieces actually run.
So the next time you're facing one of those classroom challenges, before you start thinking about adding a new rule or a stricter consequence, just pause and ask yourself, how can I make a stronger connection right now? Because that, right there, might just be the most powerful move you can make.